I welcome all you all to the presentation, the present and most important sustainable form of energy, hydrogen as future fuel.
Before Dr. Yadav begins his
appreciation.
Use of energy, what are the issues of energy, how hydrogen is solution and fuel for future. When we talk about energy, basic definition in physics, the capacity of doing work in different forms, in different activities, which is known to everyone. So, most basic issue of energy includes in our day-to-day life, like watching television, washing clothes, heating, lighting the home, taking shower, working from the home, on your laptop, any activity, whether it is a personal activity or assisted with machine or equipment, it needs energy. If we classify the energy, we can classify it primary energy, secondary energy, commercially available energy, non-commercially available energy, renewable energy and non-renewable energy. These are some of the classifications based upon the concept in which we are talking about. For example, primary energy, the energy which can be directly used and available in natural form. For example, wood, coal, gas, these are primary form of energy, which can be direct. If these are directly used, they are known as primary energy sources. If the primary energy sources are converted for efficient and optimum use due to various reasons, then the energy derived from primary energy sources is known as secondary form of energy. For example, electricity is secondary form of energy. Similarly, commercially available energy, coal, natural gas, fossil fuel based energy, non-commercial energy like wood collected from jungles and other purposes, other sources, non-commercially available energy. Similarly, the classification of renewable and non-renewable energy, the renewable energy, the source of energy which cannot be bring to its initial stage or there is no impact on environment is known as non-renewable energy, and which has no impact on environment, basically renewable energy. What is utilization? When we talk about the utilization of energy, it means conversion of one form of energy to other form. Like similarly, I talked about the use of energy. The utilization is also related to the same thing, like lifting, irrigation, diesel engine conversion. In diesel engine, for example, chemical energy is converted into mechanical energy, powering the shaft or pump or for whatever reasons. So basically, conversion is transformation of one form of energy, that is primary energy, to secondary form of energy, second form of energy, which results in useful utilization. When we generally talk about the conversion of energy, when generally we talk about the electricity, which is derived from primary energy sources, various forms of energy sources. If the energy is generated from one place, transformed from primary energy, then transported from one place to other place, it is known as transformation. Why the transformation is required? Actually, some form of energy, for example, secondary form of energy, is more useful than other forms. It is easy to control, it is easy to use at the place of use. Even though no energy actually destroyed, kinetic and electrical energy are the most useful forms. These are high quality because they can transform almost completely to any type of energy. So it means the kinetic energy and electrical energy can be transformed to various forms of energy easily for useful utilization. When we talk about the issues related to energy, these are the issues. the energy requirement is increasing day by day. The utilization of energy is resulting change in climate change and environmental issues like acid rain and temperature rise. There is issue of lack of supply from one place to other place due to location of energy sources at particular location in the country or globally. And apart from that, there are national determined factors. For example, due to political reasons, if the energy available at one location, it is not accessible to other locations. For example, due to war in Russia and Ukraine, the natural gas is not available to European countries in another part of the world. Large scope of energy efficiency measures. It means energy utilization is inefficient at one place and some up to some extent efficient at other place. That is to say, the utilization of energy by for the same purpose is not energy efficient. For example, we can quote the example that there are different efficiency cars, mileage are different. It means energy utilization is same, but utilization efficiency is different. These are the major issues related to energy usage and availability. When we talk about the availability of energy, this graph shows that initially at the beginning of industrialization for last 200 years, mankind started utilization of energy sources, fossil fuel based energy sources, and almost about 200 years most of the energy sources has been utilized, fossil fuel based energy sources. The left part of the bell shaped curve shows that 50% of the energy has already been utilized. Yellow part shows that these are the known sources of energy and these will be utilized in further future periods. And apart from that, there are some sources which are not known to mankind as on date. However, it shows the inference of this graph shows that the available sources of energy, fossil fuel based, will be utilized within no duration. It counts about 200 years out of total civilization period of more than 24 hours, historical period, 2400 years. So there is issue of energy availability and its security for our coming generations. As per International Energy Agency, energy security means uninterrupted availability of energy sources at affordable price. Energy security has many aspects. For example, energy security should be for long term, mainly deals with timely investment to the supply energy in line with economic development and economical needs. Apart from that, the effect of greenhouse is there due to utilization of energy, fossil fuel based, acid rain. When we talk about the energy security in India, despite the improvement in 3 times more energy intense, when we talk about the nature of energy utilization in India, it is 3 times more energy intensive as compared to developing countries. For example, it means for same output of goods and services, we consume more energy. India is a highly import dependent relative to export. Therefore, there is vulnerability. India has a lonely position which is highly dependent and vulnerable. It is imperative that India chalks and energy security is ready to lessen the external shocks and sustain its economic growth. Therefore, India had chalked out plan for Atmanirbhar Bharat initiative for energy security. As per Niti Aayog, National Energy Policy aims to chart the course for energy and power use in India. The basic plan of this policy is to develop clean cooking gases through efficient and affordable fuel, 100 gigawatt from solar and 60 gigawatt from wind. sustainable alternative identification of sustainable alternative affordable sources in transportation known as Satat scheme, and this sustainability and Atmanirbhar will be met by these things. Demand is in daytime. For example, when we talk about the rural energy requirement, which is the largest energy consumption sector, demand is daytime. Farmers do their activity in daytime. Demand has regional and seasonal variations due to various climatic conditions throughout the country. Demand can be made by self-sustained and sourced locally. Solar energy uses biomass and bioenergy sources. With all these presentations, we can conclude that the fossil fuel-based sources are limited, so we have to shift from non-renewable to renewable energy. Out of this, hydrogen is one of the alternates. Why it is so? When we see this table, it shows that the hydrogen has no carbon emission. It is free from hydrogen carbon emission, and it has higher energy density. Now question arises whether hydrogen can be used in every walk of life. It is so. It can be used for power generation, heat generation, industrial application, for ammonia production, steel production, synthesis gas, hydrogen cracking, hydrogenation. It can also be used for in passenger goods, fuel cell, cold stock, hydrogen powered vehicles, hydrogen trains, powered aircrafts, power shipping. Why hydrogen is alternate fuel for cars? Because it has no emission or any smoke related in its use. Hydrogen can be generated from various sources. It can be generated from natural gas, oil, coal, nuclear, biomass by different methods. For example, reforming, gasification, cracking, thermoelectrolysis, biological, partial oxidation, electrolysis, photosynthesis, and pyrolysis. This table shows various sources and its characteristic of hydrogen production. Out of total available sources of hydrogen production, about 48, 30, and 18%, 4% of what hydrogen is produced from different sources. For example, 48% is presently hydrogen is produced from steam reforming process, 3.9% from coal gasification, and about 30% of hydrogen is produced from oil, naphtha refining. It means all these sources are based upon the fossil fuel based sources. Based upon the source of production of hydrogen, it can be classified as grey hydrogen, blue hydrogen, green hydrogen, black hydrogen, brown hydrogen, purple, and so on and so forth. We will be talking about the green hydrogen policy of the India. This is one of the initiatives of Government of India to promote use of hydrogen in various fields of energy uses. As per Honorable Prime Minister of India, green hydrogen policy of was launched on 17th February 2022. According to the policy, there are various policies, initiatives to promote green hydrogen. Green hydrogen is hydrogen which can be produced from renewable energy sources. Green hydrogen shall be defined as hydrogen ammonia produced by way of electrolysis of water using renewable energy, including renewable energy which has been banked and hydrogen ammonia produced. Lot of waivers and promotion policies in terms of billing charges, waiver and other benefits have been given to promote these production of hydrogen and ammonia from renewable energy sources. Banking is allowed, charging, wheeling charges have been waived off, connectivity has been allowed. Land in renewable energy park can be allotted for manufacture of green hydrogen. The Government of India proposes to set up manufacturing zones like SEZ, Special Economic Zone, Special Energy Zones. There will be a special green manufacturing zone. Manufacture of green hydrogen, green ammonia shall be allowed to set up bunkers near seaports. renewable energy for production of green hydrogen will be allowed. In order to achieve competitive pricing, MNRE have been assigned to aggregate the total requirement of hydrogen in various fields like transportation, like refinery and other sectors, so that a combined tendering can be done to install such plants. Now question arises, presently we are shifting from diesel petrol cars to electrical vehicles. A question arises, which one is better, hydrogen fuel based car or electrical car? Basically, the electrical vehicle based cars are more energy efficient as of now, but they are with the drawback that their charging, there is a lot of charging time. They can be utilized for lesser duration. The utilization based upon charging is reduces with passage of time, but in case of hydrogen cells or fuel cells, it generates electricity continuously. It has no diminishing effect, but it is costly. It is lesser efficient as compared to battery electrical vehicles. But overall benefit is that hydrogen fuel-based cars will supersede electrical vehicles. Advantages of hydrogen is almost all production today is from high carbon. As I described in earlier slides, presently hydrogen is being produced from fossil fuel sources. So it is high carbon. Its carbon footprint, environmental impact is very high. It has pollution effect. Currently expensive production. Its cost per kg hydrogen is very costly, bulky and expensive. It has environmental issue like explosion characteristic. There is issue of storage in liquid form. There is no high pressure sustaining vessel have been designed. Supply value chains have not been established. There are safety and social acceptance issues. Even though after notification of hydrogen policy in India, various initiatives have been initiated. Like our Transport Minister Nitin Gadkari has said in Parliament that hydrogen car priced of rupees 37 lakhs, which brings down the cost of travel just rupees 2 per kilometer. When we compare present cost of the transport of the car, it is 5 to 8 rupees in case of petrol, 3.5 with LPG. But if hydrogen around similar rates are in case of electrical vehicles, but when hydrogen will be used, it will be around 2 rupees. Ministry of Renewable Energy is supporting a broad-based research development program, and various R&D programs are going on. So hydrogen will be a future for investment and venture for stakeholders, and also a very good potential for investment and support for JAAI also. From this, we can see that apart from this, there are some takeaway from the development for hydrogen use development in India. Pathway for scaling up low carbon hydrogen across economy. It means hydrogen will be used from renewable energy sources, and carbon footprint will be avoided. By 2020, cost of green hydrogen will reduce by $1 per kg. In industry, hydrogen can start to compete with fossil fuel. It will be competing to fossil fuel based sources by 2030. In industry, hydrogen can be part of cost competitive stepwise routine to decarbonization by 2060 to 30. That's all from my side. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Dr. Yadav. Very eye-opening facts he gave us, during the course of his talk.
That meets the needs of the present generation without compromising the needs of the future generation. So now the climate change and carbon emission is a very important issue throughout globally. That's why now the issue of coming hydrogen fuel, electrical vehicle, renewable energy. And actually now energy is also control the economy of a country, because we need energy, especially coal, even fuel, LNG for electricity production. Especially now due to the Ukraine and Russia war, Bangladesh is facing problem in managing the fuel. The cost of the fuel has gone high. So actually this many countries already taken target for zero carbon emission within 2040, 2050. So in that context, today the presentation is very important, but it should be actually, I think it will come, it should be cost effective. There are studies of hazards and safety also. I think through research it will come. I think it will be, I think, a feature of the energy. Thank you for your nice deliberation.
Distinguished guests, speakers, and dear participants of JAAFSC Alumni Association for South Asian Association for Regional Cooperation Countries. Good afternoon. I am Mihoko Nagai from the Embassy of Japan. I'm working on my present post from last August, and since then, I'm constantly in touch with staff of JAAFSC Indian office for my work. Today, the seminar theme includes environment, and I've been working in the Ministry of Environment Japan before my arrival in this country last August. So today I will talk about air pollution Japan experienced and its countermeasures, hoping it will be of an interest to you, the participants. Okay, this is our first slide. This shows the harsh reality Japan faced at the time of economic development. The left picture was from the pre-war period, when only the sporadic polluting factory being present. But at the center photo taken in 1960s, you see many facilities at an industrial district. Later, pollution from automobiles were added to exacerbate the situation. During the 1960s and 70s, residents of Yokkaichi City in Mie Prefecture suffered from respiratory illness, so-called Yokkaichi asthma. That was caused by sulfurous acid gas emitted from the local petrochemical complex. The polluting companies were sued by victims, and then up to now, the compensation allowances for the victims are being paid. This compensation scheme is maintained by the central government, but its financial resource is collected in accordance with the polluter pays principle. So for this compensation scheme, the money is being collected obligatorily from the companies having been located at an area the victims were living at the time of the occurrence of the health damage. Moreover, the money is collected even from the companies which were established anew after the containment of environmental hazard, as long as they run the same business type as the companies actually cause the severe health damage, such as petrochemical industries. This comes from the principle of absolute liability in a legal term, which asks for paying for the damage even if there was no clear connection established, nor is there an evidence of wrongdoing. The money is still collected every year as of now. That is because the living victims are still suffering from symptoms. The so-called 4 big pollutions of Japan, including this Yokkaichi asthma, led to the court trials, and these prolonged trials made a huge impact on the Japanese society at the time. One of the victims of Yokkaichi asthma stated, "My life is no longer to last long. I crave, however, to take back the blue sky again for our children or grandchildren." This situation urged the politicians and the central government to make laws which would prevent environmental pollutions. At first, the laws were to combat the severeness of the pollutions but after some time, the groundbreaking law with a future vision was established after the containment of the health hazard. It is called Basic Environment Act. It was legislated in 1993 after Japan largely contained the severe health hazards from environmental pollution. Based on the Basic Environment Act, environmental quality standards are set. Besides the environmental quality standards, the Basic Environment Act also stipulates the role of the central and the local government. The central government is to compile National Basic Environment Plan. The local government has a responsibility in making prefectural pollution prevention plan. On the right column of this slide, the notable point is that when the dispute settlement is needed, the support desk for citizens to consult with is set at municipalities. So I must say that the municipalities have the drive to keep a strict eye on environmental pollution, so as to keep its citizens from visiting the dispute settlement support desk bringing claims against such and such factories. Under the Basic Environment Act, Air Pollution Control Act is established, and the latter stipulates the emission standards for factories which have a certain scale of facilities and emit pollutants in the air. I will later describe the emission standards in more detail. This Air Pollution Control Act also assigns prefectural governments as implementing organizations to the monitoring of air pollutants. This slide explains the role sharing between the central and the local governments. The central government enacts laws and sets both the environmental quality standards and emission standards. The local governments implement the laws by setting emission standards which are more stringent than the national standards. And then importantly, the local governments take measures for ensuring the factories comply with the laws and standards. A notable activity carried out by local government officials is to do inspection at the factories, in most of the cases without a prior notice. The local government officials take samples from the emission gas at the end of the pipe and then make an analysis of the sample to determine the level of concentration of each pollutant, such as nitrogen oxides or sulfur oxides. If these officials find out that the emission gas is not in conformity of the emission standards, then the order is issued from the local government to the factory to take remedial measures. The remedial measures include such as to equip the facility with high efficiency dust collectors and desulfurization or denitrification devices. This slide shows the structure of the emission standards. Emission standards are applied for the emission gas at the end of the pipe for a certain scale facility which emits soot, dust, and other pollutants, such as nitrogen oxides or sulfur oxides. Moreover, emission standards are set so as to ensure the overall air quality or ambient air quality to be in conformity with environmental quality standards. In other words, the achievement of environmental quality standards depends on the situation whether emission standards are strictly observed by each facility. In Japan, emission standards are applied to 33 types of manufacturing and other businesses, such as boiler, metal refinery, electric furnace for oil manufacturing, cement manufacturing, and so on. You see in this slide, there are several steps of emission standards with difference in stringency for them to be applied to each area in accordance with the density of emission-intensive industries. This slide shows the kind of regulation each business which owns emission-intensive facilities need to abide by. As I mentioned earlier, the notable point is that on-the-spot inspection are being done by local government officers. That they check the measurement record the company is keeping, the type of the fuel being used, and most importantly, they take samples from the emitted gas, make an analysis of the gas, and determine the level of the concentration of each pollutant. If they find out that the facility emits the gas which exceeds the emission standards, then the remedial order is issued from the prefectural government. This on-the-spot inspection is normally done without a prior notice. The officials in charge of this on-the-spot inspection in most of the cases work for an environmental research center established by each prefecture. And for keeping up the technique and knowledge of them, there is an environmental training center at the central government which teaches analysis techniques to the prefectural government officials. It is established as one of the Department of Ministry of the Environment. This shows the monitoring network maintained by the central government by compiling the data sent from each prefecture. Local governments, for their part, maintain the monitoring stations and ensure the monitoring data to be sent to this nationwide network. The number of monitoring stations nationwide is approximately 1,800. Among them, 1,400 are for normal monitoring, and the remaining 400 are placed on the roadside to monitor specifically the impacts from the automobiles. This is one of the monitoring stations and shows how it looks like. Finally, this is the recent trend in the level of PM 2.5 in Japan. PM 2.5 was relatively a new problem, or I should say new area of work for Japan. About 10 years ago, in 2010, the number of monitoring stations nationwide which could monitor the concentration of PM 2.5 was only 46. And the environmental quality standard achievement rate was only about 20%. 10 years later, on 2020, the number of monitoring stations capable of monitoring PM 2.5 was increased more than tenfold to 1,081. And the achievement rate for environmental quality standards was 98% nationwide. So Japan largely overcame the problem of PM 2.5 now. That was about it from me on the outlook of air pollution situation in Japan. This is a personal view, but I might say any one country in the world which has a capacity in terms of air pollution experience, countermeasures and techniques, so it may not be a full capacity in supporting other nations in their combat against air pollution, it could be Japan. Japan's present stable condition of air quality came with a great suffering of the victims in 1960s and 70s. And personally, I think it is the mission we have to talk about this polluted history of Japan. May I recite the words of the pollution victims of Yokkaichi asthma. My life is no longer to last long. I crave, however, to take back the blue sky again for our children or grandchildren. Thank you. And finally, on another note, there was an event I'd like to introduce. On the second week of January this year, India-Japan Environment Week was co-hosted by Ministry of the Environment, Forest and Climate Change of India and Ministry of the Environment Japan, and other organizations shown in this picture. Both countries' environment ministers gave opening remarks followed by keynote speech, plenary session, and other 6 sessions, and JAAI, as you can see in these pictures, was also one of the contributors. In this slide, among these sessions, there was a session which discussed the air quality of India, in northern India. So maybe you might have some interest, you can see and play the recordings. In this slide, I'll show you the website link. And the recordings are provided for ministers' remarks and all the seminars, including the air quality in northern India. So you can watch recordings or anyone can watch recordings by clicking seminar recordings icon on the website. And the link of this site is shown here. That's it from me. Thank you, dear participants, for your kind attention. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Metropolitan, for beautifully sticking to the time and for a very informative session.
Actually, this is another very important issue regarding environmental sector. Actually, air pollution regarding Bangladesh, I can say Dhaka, I think in the month of January, most of the days it was the bottom of the list, especially the particulate matter 2.5. That is the fine dust. It's very, very hazardous for health, for children, pregnant women, as well as aged people. In Dhaka, actually, the air pollution is mainly responsible, almost 58% responsible for the bricklaying around the city. So now government has made a roadmap just to make obsolete the traditional method of brick construction. Now they have made a road within 2025. Government issued a rule, made a preliminary rule that in all government construction work, the concrete blocks should be used instead of traditional bricks. So actually today's this issue is very important. Actually, in every, I think delay sometimes come in the list also loud. So reasons, first we have to find out what are the reasons of this air pollution. And then action plan is to make, and problem is with the actually the enforcement and implementation. So this is actually not visible, but it is damaging the people's working hours, health. Its impact is very much. So I think I want to give thanks to the those who select these agendas. It was very important, not only for our countries, throughout the world. Thank you once again to Ms. Miyako for the explanation.
Of Home Affairs, Royal Government of Bhutan. I am a civil engineer and I did my bachelor's in engineering, civil engineering in Bangalore. It was in 1999 to 2003. So when I was, during that time, the mobile was in very nascent stage. Mobile phone could be used only for calling, and for our entertainment or other engagement, we used to read newspaper. And in Bangalore, I used to read the Asian Age, and every Saturday there used to be a small column of jokes, and I used to read jokes. And whenever there is a gathering of people, especially from Japan and other, I feel like sharing a joke. And the joke was like that. Once a Japanese tourist in, say, India was going to airport after a tour of India, and he took a cab, taxi, and while he took a taxi and the driver was driving, on the way, the tourist, Japanese tourist, says Honda car, and says, hey, Honda made in Japan, very fast, very fast. Again goes, and after some time, another Suzuki comes. Again the tourist says, Suzuki made in Japan, very fast, made in Japan. No? Then after some time, Mitsubishi goes, and Mitsubishi made in Japan, very fast. And finally, the taxi, they reach airport, and then ask, what's the taxi fare? Then he felt a little shocked, and he thought the taxi fare was too much. And the taxi driver said, taxi meter made in India, very fast. So, Japan is often said it is land of rising sun. And I googled it because it is the eastmost. The sun first shines in Japan and then reaches our part of the world, and it is land of rising sun. And I see in the flag of Japan the red passionate sun in a pure white background. And that, for me, it symbolizes passionate, passionate commitment of Japanese for the pure intention to contribute to the humanity. They are really contributing to our part of the world. Not only our part, but actually globally. Japan has reaches all over the world actually. And for that, I think I personally am very grateful. And this presentation, my presentation is very short, but during the tea break, Dr. Popidewa said, keep your presentation short. Then right after lunch, I deleted some slides and I made it shorter. And now I assure you that this is the shortest presentation.
But you had some joke, maybe quiet.
Okay. As I speak in Japanese, in the news we see that Japanese fans, they clean the stadium after matches.
Yes.
And in the headline itself, it says, why are they doing it? Actually, we should be asking, why are we not doing it? They are doing it, in that article only it says that they are contributing to the humanity. They are handing back the stadium clean and neat to the next users as they have entered the stadium in the beginning. So that is one human trait that we have to learn from Japanese. And when we talk about infrastructure development, now this is a bridge constructed in Bhutan with a Japanese aid, and I think it's monitored and supervised by Japanese and it's done by Japanese. The difference is that as President of JAAI, the Open mentioned that the bridge is very smooth and we can recognize from the quality. And the bridges constructed by the conductor of Bhutan or India, we have speed breaker by default due to some quality issues. And that's the difference. And then again, there is so much that we have to learn from them. And also in Bhutan, this 5S, now I don't want to go in detail, but I would like to say that it is being implemented in the hospital, and I have been assessor. So, and I'm actually at the moment trying to implement this in my office, because I believe with this, we can improve our office environment, then develop the habit of good office decorum, habits, and improve our efficiency and productivity. I would like, if there are people who are new to this, please Google it, or you can watch it on YouTube. There are a lot of materials on this. And I have a senior JAICA volunteer with me. I requested him help me implement this 5S in our office. He said, I'm not expert. Then he approached our former chief representative of JAICA Bhutan, and he gave us 2 presentations. And actually, it is not a very difficult one, but we can do it, and we are in the process of doing that. And I just want to share that with JAICA's assistance, technical assistance. There is science and technology research project. Under that, my department is basically taking the role of giving awareness and sensitization to the general public about the earthquake risk management. And we have virtual reality. So I wanted to show that material. So virtual reality is a headset that we put on the head, and then we see the virtual world which is created, and we can interact and experience. So these are the different people experiencing. So actually he is interacting with the virtual environment that is there. So since it's a material for the general public, I take everywhere I go. I let students use it, farmers, hoteliers, cooks and all. So these are the different models. And the students, they are given disaster risk mitigation or awareness program whereby they have to undergo drill. They dug under the table, and those who have passed out of the school recently, she's actually ducking under the table, which is virtual, we cannot see. So that is also the one. And this is the difference, that when adult and the recently passed out students, there's a difference. Their reaction is different. So that is one of the student noisy. And this is a virtual reality that we have there, and it's available online also through the project. But I don't think it is necessary to go through all. As I said, my presentation to Japan. One was very, very long time back, maybe around 2006 or 7. But the second one was just the last month, and this is during that visit. And that visit was related to heritage conservation and disaster risk management. So it was a heritage conservation project, so doing plaster. And this another heritage site that the contractor there, they said they build scaffolding covering the whole structure that is to be renovated, and then they work continuously, because if they build scaffolding covering the whole project site, then weather element like rain or wind will not interrupt their work. And one thing that is very different from us is they spend a lot of time in studying and documentation. The contractor said he was almost through 1.5 years, but he spent that 1.5 years in documenting the work to be taken in planning. And during that we visited a carpenter's museum. So there we see the cross section of how the Japanese structure. And this is related to disaster risk management, how the disaster PPE is to be prepared. And as I said just before that, I have a senior JAAI volunteer working with me in my same office. We sit face to face, and he writes me email. I request him, please, we are sitting together, we can talk. You tell me. But he keeps emailing me, asking a lot of things. But if you think deeply, what he's trying to do is, he's teaching me the lesson of documentation. Whatever, if you Google out about the documentation, there is a quote: if you have not documented it, you have not done it. So I think he's helping me learn the habit of documentation. And this is my last slide, and I'm saying, ask yourself, what I said is true, and what I said, you think the same way or not. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Sohn, for your
It was I think we have all enjoyed very much. You have shown use AR, that augmented reality. You can use it through using your mobile phone. No headset is required. I think it will come. What is going, research is going on it. We will see many things, because these are all the actual due to the invention of the IoT, that is Internet of Things. In future, fifth industrial revolution will come. Thank you once again for your presentation.
Thank you. Next speaker, Mr. Dawa Penjor, is the president of JAICA Alumni Association of Bhutan. He was past president of the JAAFSC. And let us now hear him talk about natural resource management and environment conservation from the NGH perspective. And to felicitate him, I invite okay, Mr. P.R. Chanda, please.
people call it national dress, but it's a traditional dress. We use it every day, and now it has become sort of official dress because it is a bit more complicated than wearing trousers. And when you go outside, we feel more comfortable in the dress because we don't have suits and all this official dress with us. So it is most convenient and it's much cheaper to wear our usual dress. And also we feel, in the street we feel very awkward because we are wearing skirts. So in Bhutan, ladies wear skirt, men wear mini skirt. We did this small study. So I have tried to link it with representation with the gross national happiness. This study was done with the FAO Netherlands Partnership Program. And its studies have shown that poorer communities exhibit high dependence on mushroom collection. Among the natural resources, mushroom is the most effective. And this is important especially in high altitude areas where agriculture is difficult. And during the mushroom season, they depend on these mushrooms. And among the mushrooms, there are also cordyceps also is included in the very high altitude areas. And it's one of the producers which helps to keep the people in the remote areas. And the focus is on mustard mushroom because it has it's a market chain. It is being exported especially to Japan. So it has a market chain. For other mushrooms, it was difficult because it was collected and sold in the local market and the record is not kept. In case of mustard, the exported part is well documented. So we have chosen 7 districts, and where among mushrooms, there are many mushrooms are included, but special focus was given to mustard mushroom. So people in high altitude areas, they collect mushrooms for their livelihood to supplement their income. And it was very important in the olden days when there was no road access. As such, without road access, people were not able to sell their agricultural products because of the transport program. So there are many mushrooms like mustake, chanterelle, washing mushroom, and other mushrooms, many wild mushrooms. Over 100 mushrooms are listed in Bhutan, but these are the most important ones. So some of the biggest like mustake mushroom, chanterelle, potatoes, shiitake, washing mushroom, then the shimeji also, leafy. The studies these were the quantitative analysis, farmers input labor. There was a very important mustake mushroom was discovered in 1998 by chance. A Japanese tourist saw the mushroom in the market, and before that it was not much appreciated. But from there, people started collecting and sending to Japan, and people were able to help themselves in their many areas. So mushroom are also sold in the market along the road. So, and if you look at this contribution of the mushroom in the income, in some areas it was contributing to 43% of their income. Some other areas, minimum contribution from agriculture was 12, and this was based on the quantity of mushroom as well as the distance from the market. contribution from the sale of mushroom was helping people to pay for their children's education, household items and clothing, farm tools, machinery, CGI sheet for roofing, fencing for their fields, and also buying auctions and even power tillers when there was road access. Later on, they also bought power tillers. Information were collected using various agencies. On the availability of resources, the decline was there. So later on, at later stage, the contribution from mushroom was decreasing. One was due to a decline in production, other was due to the road access. Contribution from other agricultural products, farm produce, was increasing. The collection was affected by affected by habit of people using plastic bags or collecting too much. And now the effect from climate change is also affecting earnings from mushroom. So for the activity, meetings were conducted, trainings were conducted, also was to help sustain mushroom production and collection. The trainings are often provided, and also group formation was one of the strategies. So there are many challenges. So I'm not going into this was taking time. So mushroom also being processed. So to help maintain the mushroom quantity of mushroom in the forest and marketing, the management plan was developed and communities were made into community groups, and this management plan was, we paused it, fast-tracked it to pass it before 2008, because 2008 the democratic government was coming, and we thought because these places where mushroom grow, they are also very rich in timber, wood, other natural resources. So we managed to push through a few management plans to help conserve the forest for the income of the community. So because of the income generated from sale of mushroom, it was contributing to the economic development, and it helps conserve traditional culture because many festivals were organized, and also it helps tourism during the off-season when there are no national, normal festivals were conducted. And because of protecting the forest from mushroom, it was contribution to the contribution to conservation of the environment. And the formation of group management forest mushroom management groups improves people's participation in local government, and also that means good governance. So they are contributing to the 4 pillars of the gross national happiness, which includes sustainable economic development, preservation of culture, preservation of environment, and good governance. So this is indirectly contributing to the pillars of JAAI, and it's helping a lot of people to stay back, because being in the management group, they are allowed to collect mushrooms or cordyceps, and it helps people stay back in the community. Thank you very much.
They used to live with nature. That is the main reason. But I don't know whether that is the main thing or not. They're discussing the foreign tourists. Why? I think for protecting the nature, because last time there was a program in Bhutan, our JAAFSC program, but we cancelled it because there was a tax for the visitor per night $200. So I think I will, because at least for the member of the JAAFSC, I think you should relax it, the tax. So
This is take home message for Dawasan.
yeah. So thank you once again for your presentation.
Thank you. Please. And to felicitate him.
थोड़ा आ गई सर थोड़ा आ गई है
all, minasan konnichiwa. So I already spoke in the opening ceremony about my title, given title, JAAFSC activities, future plan and learning points from Japan. I will not speak more about the JAAFSC activities already explained in the opening session. I just briefly tell about some remaining parts. This is our alumni building, both for JAAFSC and JAAN in Kathmandu. Yeah, this is our three stories building, own building, no need to pay rent. And we have JAAFSC office, we have given one flat for JAAFSC in this building. First of all, I would like to share with you, this is your building, not only us. This is all our JAAFSC countries building. So then about the future plan, I will not take more time because we will have JAAFSC annual meeting of the executive committee tomorrow. We will discuss on that. In that meeting, briefly, we will talk about the next annual meeting venue and next seminar theme and venue and other any business we will talk here. So I will not discuss here. So all are these things. And we also have some expectation from JAICA. I have not seen here the Socho, but Jitso is here. We are repeatedly requesting to JAICA headquarters and all JAICA offices recognize us as a separate alumni JAAFSC. We need separate recognition like JAAI, like JAAN, like JAAF, like JAAF, like this. So we are telling this not only to this India JAICA office, Nepal, in all offices in SAARC countries, also in the headquarters, JAICA headquarters, Director General and the Senior Vice President also well known about our request. We hope some days will come to address this issue. And another thing, supporting some fund for on the name of JAAFSC, we are also expecting about it. And I think JAICA India also giving this priority to the alumni based on their capacity for the possible project or possible anything which should be completed from JAICA. If JAICA offices could use their alumni, I think it will be very nice. And another thing, refresher training to the participant. Yes. All friends came here who went to Japan 20 years before, 30 years before, but Japan changed. If there is some space to organize some program for the refresher, it is also on our request. So with this, I complete my activities, JAAFSC activities, only go for the history. Sonam San started his presentation from joke. I start my presentation from the history. So JAAFSC history, not other history, India history or British history, I don't know about that because I am the student of agriculture. I spent my 7 years in Japan for my master PhD study. So related that also I will explain here a little bit about my experience. This is the JAAFSC history. It was established in 2008. There is the photo of the Dhaka meeting. Some Indian friends also there. Yeah, I was also there. Actually, I was very young at that time. Yeah, JAAFSC second meeting. Yeah, it was JAAFSC second meeting. You can find some our JAAI friends also there. It was conducted in Kathmandu in 2009. We had very good program in Kathmandu. This is the third meeting in 2017 in Dhaka. Dr. O.P. Deval, he was also in that meeting, our senior vice president at that time. And it was organized in 2017. Between 2019 to 2017, it was very inactive. Then we started to make it active. Again, JAAFSC meeting, fourth meeting in Kathmandu. At that time also, we had online and the physical gathering meeting both. And this is the fifth meeting in Kathmandu 2019. It is our JAAFSC Secretariat conference room. It is our building. Inside we have this kind of, we have 4 or 5 rooms. Conference hall, president room. Yeah, we got only one time our respected president, he sit one time in each chair. We have chair, we have room for the president. And we have general secretary room, we have conference room, and we have one Japanese style room also, not neat table, we have low table. So after that, we started some visit. This is the visit before reactive, the alumni, before making active. First I visited Bangladesh. Yeah, Bangladesh friends are here.
Yes, I'm also there.
Yeah, you are also there. I think you are also very young at that time. Yeah. So our respected president, he is the commissioner for the Anti-Corruption Commission in Bangladesh, Dr. Muhammad Majamul Haq Khan. He is in the with red collar. He is still the president. And it is the meeting in Bhutan. Our Socho Watanabe-san was also there. Our Bhutanese friend also there. I am going to explain about the JAAFSC history because we visited Bangladesh, we visited Bhutan. I did not miss any visit, any meeting in the SAARC countries, including Tokyo. Yeah, this is the visit in India. We visited India. This photo was taken in the JAICA office. India at that time, Matsumoto Socho was there, and I forgot the young lady is the Tanto. Yeah, she was coordinating, and our president is there, and general secretary is there. And after that, we visited Maldives. Our Kawasaki Socho, he was the Socho in Nepal also before. We all went to Maldives for the visit and the meeting. After that, again friends came to Nepal to conduct the meeting and the seminar. After that, we went to Sri Lanka, Colombo. This photo was taken in the Colombo office with the JAAFSC team. Yeah, after completing all these meetings in SAARC countries, we visited JAICA headquarters Tokyo, including our president, Dr. O.P. Deval. I was also there. Our Bangladesh JAAFSC General Secretary is there. Our General Secretary, Ms. Santi Lakshmi Sakke is there. Our senior member, Mr. Sushil Kumar Bhattakan is there. And at that time, we met senior executive vice president, Mr. Dr. Yamada, and the South Asia department team. Like this, we are making JAAFSC active, not only speaking, not only talking in this room and in other seminar. We have visited, we have put our things. We want to make the between our country and the JAICA and the JAAN relation very strong. Yeah, after that, I want to increase some other part than today's seminar part, that is learning from Japan. So what we can learn from Japan? Some we are engineer, some we are professor, I am agriculturist, some are power sector, but what are the common things what we can learn from Japan? I am going to explain it briefly. Yeah, this is Japan, we know all. Yeah, before here we also talked, there are many languages in Nepal, in India, but in Japan, you can see Japanese people, ethnic group 98.5. So Japan is a country where well-educated people, become illiterate due to Japanese language. I know we all are well-educated people in this hall, but if we go to Japan alone, without any support of the Japanese language speaker, then you will be illiterate. This is the country like this. So, what is the terrain and population distribution? In Japan, hills is 16%, plain 11%, mountain 73%. But small mountain, not tall mountain like Nepal. The Fuji mountain only about 3,800 meters. But the people, residents is 51% in plain, 20% in mountain, and only 29% in the hill. Because Japanese people will not make their house scatter way. They make only the residential announced, declared by the government. You can see land use in Japan, 67% forest. Japanese people, they love nature, they love forest. It will be very difficult to cut one single tree of forest in Japan. I saw only this. And what is the economy of Japan? Japanese trade. There is the imports, Japanese import machinery, fuels, food product, chemicals, everything. But their three pillars of the economy is electronics, general machinery, and automobiles. These are the three pillars of Japanese economy. And religious attitude in Japan. What is the religious attitude? We know Japan is a Buddhist country. No, you can see the data here. Buddhist is only 30%, Shinto and related creeds is 2%, Christian is 2%, and they do not hold to a religious creed 56%. They don't hold any religious creeds. They are very familiar. They respect all. They respect Hindu, they respect Muslim, they respect all religion. But this group common, this do not hold to religious creed. Life expectancy, you can see here, Japan, 86 years. And now, if I am not wrong, Japanese friends may correct me later, there are more than 60,000 people 100 years over. In my life, I have seen over 100-year women in Japan when I visited Japan. In our country, we cannot see over 100 years people, but in Japan, there are more than 60,000 people over 100 years. But this unproductive population is little bit burden for Japan at present. And another challenging for Japan, declining birth rate, lengthening life expectancy. This is also one problem in Japan. And this coming to our country and the Asian country also gradually. And another thing you can see here, what is the marriage age, mean age in Japan? 30.9 years. Japanese people get married late and birth children also late. So population also late. Negative growth. So another thing, style of wedding ceremony in Japan. Shrine 15%, civil ceremony 19%, and church 65%. So how is possible? In Buddhist country, 65 people marriage ceremony will be held in church. Who come to get married in that church? The people who are under 56, that is, do not hold any religion. These people come because it is convenient, it is cheap, it is very easy to manage, so they get married in the church. Modern style influence in Japan. Now Japan also has challenged to maintain their original Japanese style. And nowadays, Japanese style is born in a Shinto, it is a very traditional thing. Live a Christian and die a Buddhist. This is a Japanese lifestyle now. So how Japanese people stay in the train or public transport? You can see here, there is no single word, there is no voice in Japan, but they are all are busy to use the mobile, internet, SMS, everything. You can see. So in the priority seat in our Asian country, all priority seats are always occupied. Women, men always. Disabled, always able people sitting. But in Japan, if it is priority seat, nobody will stay there. This is the system. Nobody will stay there, seat is vacant. And another thing, in the priority seat, where pregnant women and kids, disabled people stay, switch off their phone due to some reach. So, about the Japanese development, there are many things, background, all these things supported for their development. I do not explain it in detail, and learning points from Japan. Now I am coming to the point. Love your nation and organization. The first thing, what we can learn from Japan. I am a student of agriculture. I learned some agriculture thing from Japan. Some engineer friends, like our General Secretary JAAFSC, he learned, I think, in engineering. So what are the common things? Love your nation and organization. Japanese people are very proud of their country and would not want to be a citizen of any other country. They take a lot of responsibility for their country, work together to improve their nation. They have the same special attachment with their organization or business. Yeah, I will show you with data. I would rather be a citizen of my own country than any other country. Yeah, in Japan, it is 89% and only US is above, that is the 91%. So they love their country and they love their nation and organization. Honesty. That is, honesty, the best policy is found best practice in Japan, we all know. Another is punctuality. Japanese people pay great attention to punctuality and they have great sense of time management. They hate wasting of their own and others' time. And what is the punctuality in Japan? 5 minutes before given time is the punctuality. Not like our Asian country. If we got time, and we will be there about 1 hour later or 30 minutes later, but all our friends came here in the given time today. The spirit of never giving up. Another thing, the proverb saying, Nana korobi yaokai, which means fall down 7 times, stand up 8. This is the Japanese style. They never gave up. If it is, this thing should be done, if it is the good thing, so they try, fall down 7 times, stand up 8. This is the Japanese proverb. Respect for privacy. Japanese people give great importance to privacy and do not interfere with other people's privacy. And another thing, equality. I mention here 2 points. Bureaucrats are transferred every 3 years, no matter what their rank is. In JAICA officials, so usually you can see every 3 years they will be changed. Even ambassador, he will be changed after 3 years. In Japan also, all bureaucrats will be transferred in March because the physical line, the academic year starts from April. All staffs, they start from April 1. What kind of system they established? And another thing, every child in the same school location must go to the same school for equality. For example, in this area, if the Prime Minister is staying here, his guard also, security also here, and his some other support staff also here, but they have same school, they have to go to the same school. There is no option for the Prime Minister to go to the separate school. So this kind of system in the government school is in Japan. And respect to senior. Treat their seniors and elders with great respect. What is the seniority? Everywhere we can see seniority. In the supermarket there is the seniority. In the train station there is the seniority. In the office there is the seniority. Because in the train line, if someone stays in front, they are the senior. After the senior get the train, then the junior will go there. Even in the lunch line, if someone stays front, they are the senior and the junior will go later. This is the respect of seniority in Japan. And another is sincerity, hard work and teamwork. Hardest working people in the world and take great pride in their work. The sincerity and hard work of the Japanese people might be two of the secrets behind Japan's development. The workaholic nature of Japanese people. Sometimes they overwork also. You can see here. I am telling with data. In 8 hours, Japanese people spend 7.15 hours in office, highest in the world. Rapid economic development. Due to all these things, Japan getting rapid economic development. Japanese making their country model and economic nationalism and patriotism. Even they have highest level of civic responsibility among ordinary Japanese citizens as well as political leadership that is lacking in developing countries like Nepal. For the sake of nation building and safeguarding Japan's national security, Japan has not even attempted to modify Article 9 of the 1974 Constitution due to the increased value of the patents gamen. Because the Constitution was made after the World War, but there is about the force, security, there is some debate, but for the nationalism, Japan did not change, not ready to change their constitution, which was made in support of the US government. So in the last of my presentation, again I show some photos. Recently, in last year, we have one high official visit from JAICA head office, project formulation office team, and also we had very good opportunity to meet State Minister of Foreign Affairs of Japan, Mr. Senosuke. He spent only one night in Kathmandu, but due to kindness of His Excellency Ambassador, on behalf of JAAN, I got his time to spend with him about 3 hours during his one night stay in Kathmandu. So we also have such kind of opportunity. Not only that, our senior Vice President, Dr. Yamada, who met us in Tokyo in October 2019, we met him in JAICA office, also conducted a meeting with him during his visit in this November. Recently, Director General from South Asia Department, Mr. Ito, he has visited Kathmandu on February 22, just 2 days before we come here, and I also got him to meet the time and share about this seminar also, this meeting also. Yeah, this is the team. At that time we met, JAICA chief also there, ambassador also there, our senior government officials also there. Yeah, again our Vice President Overi, JAAI Vice President Overi told us we are pillar, Dr. Deol is pillar, Dr. Pradeep is pillar, he himself is pillar. Yeah, we also have pillar. I am central pillar, and behind, surrounding, we have all pillars. So this is the JAAN team, present executive team. Thank you very much.
Sir, excuse me. Could you just put that slide, Love Your Nation?
Yeah.
Once again.
Yeah, please, madam. Yeah, I can explain. No need to. So, okay, please, if you have.
No, not explain.
Yeah.
Like, we would like to have a click, sir.
Of jobs. from the lecture, are you planning to migrate to Japan? I think after this lecture, you may get citizenship of Japan.
Said love your nation. Huh?
Yeah. So actually, in your, I think, topics of presentation, there was, I think, future plan, but I haven't seen anything about future plan of JAAFSC. Maybe we'll hear later on in our meeting. Actually, we want some actually performance-based activities. We have done many meetings too. It's fine. We have so many photographs, so many memorable photographs. It's fine, but I think to run an organization, there should a fund should be generated. And in certain countries, there are many experts in different sectors: health, education, engineering, electrical administration, everything. If we can actually integrate those expertise, we may take also joint collaboration projects. And the basic thing is, we may also from the jobs, some income generating project is possible or not. I will request Dr. Bhushal to think about it. Thank you for your presentation.
Thank you. And to end this useful and refreshing session, I call upon Mr. Kuldeep, Treasurer.
For giving a vote of thanks. As we come to end this technical session, I would like to take a moment to express my gratitude of all of you in making this event a success. Firstly, I would like to extend my heartfelt thanks to distinguished speakers who shared their knowledge and insights with us today. Your expertise and passion have truly inspired us and provided us with a deeper understanding of the subject matter. I would also like to thank you, our organizing committee, for their hard work in putting together this event. Your tireless efforts have made this session possible, and we are grateful for our dedication and commitment. Finally, I want to thank you, all of you, the participants, for attending this session and engaging in thoughtful discussions. Your presence has made this event all the more meaningful and valuable. Once again, thank you to everyone involved in making this technical session a success. I hope that we can all continue to learn and grow together in future. Thank you for everyone. Have a good day.
Yeah, JAAFSC seminar. Because of pandemic, we couldn't invite all the members from sub-region, but we have brought a magazine. Was waiting with us for 1 year. I've been taking care of this magazine for 1 year, purposely to. Just few footnotes.
Jan, we have also have some publications. Milan, I would like to request. First of all, I would like to request. JAAI, President O.P. Deol.
Hello.
Thank you. Likewise, I would like to JAAI, Dao Penju-san. And I would like to request from Bangladesh, Mohammed. And we distributed 2 magazines, one for JAAI office.
Okay, thank you.
Konnichiwa.
Hand over here.
after this session, relax, and please come back at 7 o'clock. And I think Dr. Gupta will tell you that how can you go to your respective places. At 7 o'clock we will have our convention and dinner, so please be here for that. Thank you so much. In our magazine also and conducting this session, so thank you so much. Thank you.
Just a minute.
जाओ ना इसको बोलो यस नेपाल में बहुत मुश्किल है लेकिन सेटिंग करना आपका जो कॉर्पोरेशन है ना
of conducting any event and plan for any event face to face. During the current fiscal year 22-23, all felt some relief from COVID-19 and planned for physical events. However, in such a challenging situation, JAAI planned and organized virtual and physical events successfully during the current fiscal year. First, awareness lecture on arthritis, causes, concern and caution. On 3rd December 2022, a lecture on arthritis, cause, concern and caution was organized virtually online on Zoom platform. Dr. Israel Haq, senior doctor from AIMS Delhi, delivered the lecture which was appreciated a lot by the participants. Mr. Pradeep Gupta, General Secretary JAAI, introduced the speaker. Dr. O.P. Deval, President JAAI, welcomed the speaker and all the participants. Dr. Israel Haq delivered very useful and informative presentation. During the question and answer session, queries of participants were answered excellently by the speaker. Shri T.P.S. Oberoi, Vice President JAAI, expressed vote of thanks and gratitude to JAAI President, Speaker, officials from JICA India office and all the participants. 8th annual meeting of JICA Alumni Associations Forum of SAR Alumni Association of India. The meeting was attended by the Senior Vice President, Vice Presidents and Executive Committee members of JAAFSC representing respective member JICA Alumni Associations. Secretary General Dr. Ramchandra Bhusal briefed the meeting about the present situation of the funding from JICA for JAAFSC activities. Dr. O.P. Deval, President of JAAFSC and JAAI, proposed the meeting date for international seminar on growth in key development sectors, health, education, environment and energy, perspectives from South Asia and role of JICA. And 9th annual meeting from 25th to 26th, 2023, and the meeting was decided to conduct the seminar and meeting from February 25th to 26th, 2023 in New Delhi. Indo-Japan Cultural Exchange Program. On 5th February 2023, an Indo-Japan Cultural Program was organized at Garden Restaurant, Buddha Jayanti Park, New Delhi. Dr. Pradeep Gupta, General Secretary, told about the program. Mr. T.P.S. Oberoi, Vice President JAAI, welcomed all the participants, families of JAAI members, officials from JICA India office. Mr. Kondo Sai addressed the audience and appreciated the efforts of JAAI in the field of Indo-Japan Cultural Exchange Program. Dr. S.K. Bandoria, Joint Secretary JAAI, introduced the Koshiki martial art, which was performed by a group of boys and girls from All India Koshiki Federation, New Delhi. Koshiki, a Japanese martial art, is hard contact fighting system with super safe equipments. It is very famous and popular around world, namely Koshiki Karate. After the hair-raising performance of Koshiki martial art, which was applauded by all the participants, there were Gadwali music and dance performances by schoolgirls. All the girls performed well and forced audience to move their legs with the music. There were few interesting games played for children, ladies and couples. All enjoyed the games a lot. Token prizes were given to the winners. The program was attended by the JAAI members along with their spouse and kids. They started with mouth-watering hot pakoras in breakfast and tea and coffee. In the noon, all the family members enjoyed the sumptuous lunch. Hot tea with cookies was served in the afternoon, which was the ultimate relish under the green umbrella. Buddha Jayanti Park was at its full bloom in the season of Basant. Technical seminar by JAAI Eastern Region Chapter. JAAI Eastern Region Kolkata Chapter Chairman Dr. Vinay Krish Chaudhary informed that technical seminar has been scheduled on 3rd March 2023 at Kolkata. Activities by JAAI Western Region Chapter. JAAI Western Region Chapter Ahmedabad Chairman Mr. Sanjeev Mehta informed that various activities took place in Ahmedabad. Detailed report is given in the magazine, which will be released in the evening. Thank you. Thanks a lot. Results report accounts. Mr. Kuldeep Kumar.
Before Kuldeep ji present the report, I just want to mention one more thing. That today's this GBM is special in one more aspect, that we are being represented by our Western Regional Chapter Sanjeev Mehta, who is here. So outside Delhi participation is also there in today's meeting. Sanjeev ji, we welcome you. And zonal chapters are doing an activity. Thank you.
Inform you. Now our JAAI account is operational and we have checkbook also for the same. And we have 3 FDs at present. One is for 45,000, another is for 1 lakh, and third one is for 3 lakhs. And at present we have saving balance in saving account 1,16,994 rupees. And there is no expenses during last 2 years. And we have 2 new members during financial year 22-23, Miss Girija P and Mr. Kamlesh Kumar Jha. So we have only 2 new members in this year. That's thank you very much.
Acceptance of accounts with all your consent. आप हाथ उठा के अपनी consent दीजिए. Thank you.
बैंक अकाउंट ऑपरेशनल हो गया है, पैन आ गया है, JAAI का जो पोस्टल एड्रेस है वो भी JAAI का इंडिया ऑफिस में एक्सेप्ट हो गया है। कई सालों से एक छोटा सा इश्यू लटक रहा है, कुछ लॉकडाउन की वजह से, कुछ प्रोसीजरल हैसल्स की वजह से, वो है JAAI की रजिस्ट्रेशन। अब रजिस्ट्रेशन में अगर हम इसको सोसाइटी रजिस्ट्रेशन एक्ट में लेते हैं, उसमें 2 ऑप्शंस हैं, दिल्ली बेस्ड एसोसिएशन और नेशनल बेस्ड एसोसिएशन। दिल्ली बेस्ड एसोसिएशन में जो रेस्ट्रिक्शन होगी वो सिर्फ दिल्ली के मेंबर ही होंगे, उनका फिर एनुअल रिटर्न वगैरह जो भी है भरना पड़ा करता है। उसके लिए हमने पहले, मैंने खुद काफी कोशिश की थी, जो जाई का नाम है इसको भी मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ कल्चर के यहाँ से अप्रूवल मिलती है, वो मिल गई थी। रजिस्ट्रार जो एक एड्रेस देना होता है वो मैंने अपना दिया था। अब क्योंकि एड्रेस जायका ऑफिस का है तो सेंट्रल दिल्ली में जो भी सब रजिस्ट्रार ऑफिस होगा, एसडीएम ऑफिस, वहां से ये सोसाइटी रजिस्ट्रेशन एक्ट में हम आप रजिस्टर कर सकते हैं जाई को। इसके बारे में आप सबकी अप्रूवल होनी चाहिए, क्योंकि नेशनल बेस में काफी लंबा प्रोसीजर है, वो हम फॉलो नहीं कर पाते। इसमें एक इजी वे भी है कि जाई को कोऑपरेटिव सोसाइटी एक्ट के अंदर रजिस्ट्रेशन करवा दो, तो ये हाउस इज ओपन। आप जैसे सजेस्ट करें यूनानिमिटी से, वी कैन फॉलो इट अप प्लीज।
आसान कौन है दोनों में? दोनों में आसान कौन है?
कोऑपरेटिव।
तो उसी में करा दें, हमें तो सिर्फ रजिस्ट्रेशन नंबर चाहिए।
दूसरा भी कोशिश करके देखते हैं अगर सोसाइटीज एक्ट में भी हो जाए, क्योंकि वो ज्यादा जरा एक ऑथेंटिक है।
मैं इसमें जो है ना, एक तो एडवोकेट से भी बात हुई थी, उन्होंने बताया था किसी भी एक्ट में रजिस्ट्रेशन कराओगे तो उसकी बहुत ज़्यादा फॉर्मेलिटीज होती हैं। हर साल वो अकाउंट्स वगैरह पास करने पड़ेंगे, बहुत सारे डॉक्यूमेंट सबमिट करने होते हैं, तो उसके लिए वो एडिशनल वर्क हम लोगों के पास हो जाएगा। हम ऑलरेडी ये काम पार्ट टाइम करते हैं बेसिकली, तो ये काम हमारे लिए मुश्किल होगा। एक एडवोकेट ने सजेस्ट किया है कि इसको आप यदि एज ए ट्रस्ट रजिस्टर कराएं, तो उसमें मिनिमल डॉक्यूमेंट्स सबमिट होते हैं एनुअली, तो वो भी एक ऑप्शन है। अभी हम एक्चुअली पिछले काफ़ी दिनों से पैन कार्ड ऑब्टेन करने के लिए संघर्ष कर रहे थे, जो फाइनली हमको मिल गया है। अब हम नेक्स्ट हम इसको प्रोसीड करते हैं कि हम इसको कैसे रजिस्ट्रेशन कराया जाए, ट्रस्ट में कराया जाए या जैसे ओपराइज आपने बताया कोऑपरेटिव सोसाइटी में कराया जाए। हम एक तो एडवोकेट से और सलाह लेते हैं, और या आप लोग कोई सजेशन दें।
नॉर्मली
इनफैक्ट सभी का सहयोग अपेक्षित होता है, सब लोग इसको सहयोग करें, सब लोग अपना कंट्रीब्यूशन दें उसके अंदर, और खास तौर से एग्जीक्यूटिव कमेटी के जो मेंबर्स हैं वो अपना एक्टिव पार्टिसिपेशन जरूर रखें इसके अंदर।
Actually, lot of work was done in this regard, and especially by Oberoi regarding the registration. और उसमें जो सबसे important issue आ रहा था या important hurdle थी, वो था address. Now, luckily, we are going step by step. So one thing is clear that we have got the address of the JAAI India office that has been accepted. So officially, we can claim that the JAAI office is at 16 Kasturba Gandhi Marg, whatever their address is. So this one step is cleared. The account is also activated. That is number 2. So maybe the third thing is that we will go towards registration. And as he has suggested, we will also consult. We will take some legal opinion that which is better for looking at this kind of group, and then maybe we'll proceed further.
Sir, the alumni associations of many of the institutions also is there, no? So, what are their rules and regulations? Could we find out?
Institution category में तो fall
नहीं
नहीं करेंगे मेरे ख्याल से।
नहीं, वैसा इंस्टीट्यूशन नहीं। जैसे मैंने इस कॉलेज से पास आउट किया, तो वहाँ के अलुमिनी की एक होती है ना, तो उस तरह हम लोग ये एसोसिएशन उसी लिए बन गए ना कि हम सब जापान कहाँ गए, तो हम उसके अलुमिनी तक कुछ उसमें थोड़ा रिबेट का कोई चक्कर या कुछ।
I really don't know. Maybe we can ask.
हाँ, जैसे मेमसी का है एसोसिएशन, because then that doesn't come, no, it is not something कि तुम ये करें, हम लोग सिर्फ एक अलुमिनी है और एक दूसरे से मिलने के लिए ये करते हैं, मतलब। I think in that way we will have to see, sir.
Correct, definitely.
हाँ.
So that is our next target. So definitely.
But they shouldn't be profit oriented और कुछ मिलेगा, जापान से कुछ मिल रहा है और वो हम खर्च कर रहे हैं, जैसे you know people are with so much mindset कि क्या कर रहा है, क्या हो रहा है, you know, that is the thing where we have to our little bit efforts.
कुछ और suggestion, anything?
All of you, and particularly those who are in dais, our President, Obesa, and all respected dignitaries in this dais and out the dais, so I am Dr. H.S. Mundal, scientist from NCS. From morning to now, whatever the things, activities done is great for us, and it is very good and fruitful. Now discussion has been done. Many challenges are also with us, but some of these issues are already solved by this committee member who are day and night doing this. Now we have to work together, entire JAAI committee, JAAI members, so then it will be possible. Sometimes also I am unable to cooperate with them. I am sorry for that, sir, but time to time I also just making interaction with them, if any needed to them also. Not needed to them, my responsibility to do this work, but anyway this work is going on, and in near future definitely we can go and we can hit the target, and we may be successful, and we may be placed here in greater August gathering. Thank you for this August gathering. Good evening and have a nice day.
I request complaint and